Hello friends, I welcome you in lecture number 6 on two-dimensional random variables. In this lecture we are going to discuss one example on different definitions which we have discussed earlier. We have discussed about joint probability mass function. We know that joint probability mass function of two-dimensional random variable which is discrete is denoted by this notation p of xy, and it is always non-negative. And we also know that if we take sum of all possible values of joint probability mass function, then this summation is always equal to 1. Also we have discussed about conditional probability mass functions in earlier lecture. We know that conditional probability mass function of y given x is denoted by p of y by x and is given by value of joint PMF at point xy divided by value of marginal PMF of random variable x if this value is positive. Similarly, if we want to write down conditional probability mass function p of x by y, where we want to find the probability of x given that y equal to small y. So here in this case we can understand in this way. If we have x in the division, here we write value of marginal probability mass function of random variable x, and if we have random variable y here in the division, then we will replace this by pxy divided by probability mass function of random variable y, provided this quantity is positive. And we know that if random variables x and y are independent, then this is going to be probability mass function of random variable y, and this is going to be p of x for random variable x. Also we know that two random variables are independent if value of joint PMF at any point xy will be equal to value of probability mass function of x into PMF of y. So if this condition is satisfied, then also random variables x and y are independent, and if this is satisfied, then we can see these two are equivalent. If random variables x and y are independent, then conditional probability mass function p of y by x will be equal to p of y, and conditional probability mass function of x by y will be equal to value of probability mass function for random variable capital X. So either we can use this one or this one to show that random variables are independent. So with this in mind, we try to do this example in today's lecture. So the joint probability mass function of a bivariate random variable xy is given by p of xy equal to k times x square y for x equal to 1 2 and y equal to 1 2 3. So here random variable capital X takes the values 1 and 2, and random variable y takes the three values 1 2 and 3, and since these values are integers, this random variable is discrete random variable. Given bivariate random variable is discrete, or we can say that x and y are discrete random variables. So for these values of x and y, value of joint PMF is k times x square y, and at remaining points value of PMF is 0, and here this k is unknown constant. So in part A we are asked to find the value of this small k such that this p is a joint probability mass function of these two discrete random variables. So here we can use the property of joint probability mass function to determine the value of k, we know that if we take sum of all the values of joint probability mass function, then that sum is always 1. So we can use that property to find out value of k. So we start by writing, we know that if we take summation over all possible values of x and y for joint probability mass function, then this sum is always 1. Now here x is, we can write x and y anywhere as we wish. Here I am writing x first and then y. So range of x is, x takes the values 1 and 2 and y takes the values 1, 2, 3, and value of pxy is k times x square y, which is equal to 1. So first we consider this sum, we keep y as it is and we vary x. So this is equal to sigma y equal to 1, 2, 3. First I put x equal to 1, so I have k into 1 into y, that is ky, plus if I take x equal to 2, I will have x square is 4, so I have 4 ky equal to 1. So therefore sigma y equal to 1, 2, 3, ky plus 4 ky, that is 5 ky equal to 1. And now I take y equal to 1, 2, 3. So for y equal to 1, I have 5k. For y equal to 2, I have 5 into 2, that is 10k. And for y equal to 3, I have 5 into 3, that is 15k equal to 1. So this total is 30k. Therefore 30k equal to 1, and we obtain the value of k equal to 1 over 30. So this is part A. Now since k equal to 30, therefore we can write joint PMF by writing value of k. So now joint PMF is pxy equal to, it was k into x square y. So k is 1 by 30, so we have 1 by 30 into x square y. X is 1, 2 and y takes the values 1, 2 and 3, and it is 0 otherwise. So we will use this probability mass function for remaining parts. Now in second part, we have to find out marginal probability mass functions of random variables x and y. So we are familiar with the definitions of marginal probability mass functions also. We know that the marginal probability mass function of x is given by px equal to, we have to sum over all possible values of y, sigma pxy over all possible values of y, and this we have to repeat for x equal to 1 and 2. For each possible value of x, we have to take this summation. Now y has the range 1, 2, 3, so here I write 1, 2, 3. So now I substitute value of joint PMF, it is 1 over 30 k times x square y. Okay, I am writing this value pxy equal to 1 over 30 x square y. Now I take y equal to 1 and I will have k x square, or I can take this k by 30 outside. Sorry, I have to put x square y only. Now my joint PMF is 1 by 30 times x square y. I have find out value of k here. So pxy is 1 over 30 x square y. So now I can consider y equal to 1 first. So I will have x square into 1 over 30. Then I consider y equal to 2. So I have 2x square over 30. And then I take y equal to 3. So I have 3x square divided by 30. So if I take 30 LCM, I will have 1 plus 2 3x square plus 3x square, that is 6x square, and I have x square divided by 5. So therefore the the marginal probability mass function of x is x square divided by 5 for x equal to 1 and 2 and 0 otherwise. Now we find out marginal probability mass function of y. So same definition, here we sum all the values of joint PMF over all possible values of x. So the marginal probability mass function of random variable y is, I write here, P of y equal to, here we consider summation over all possible values of x, and pxy, and this is for y equal to 1, 2 and 3. X is taking the values 1 and 2, so we have to sum from x equal to 1 to x equal to 2. So sigma x equal to 1 to 2, value of joint PMF is 1 by 30 x square y. So now first we put x equal to 1 and we have y divided by 30. For x equal to 1 we have 1 square, that is 1, plus for x equal to 2 we have 4y divided by 30. So we obtain 5y divided by 30, and this is for y equal to 1, 2 and 3, and for remaining values of y it is 0. So the marginal probability mass function of random variable y is P of y equal to, this is 5y divided by 30, so that we can write by cancelling 5, we can write this as y divided by 6. Y takes the values 1, 2 and 3, so y divided by 6 when y takes the values 1, 2 and 3 and 0 otherwise. So we have completed part B. In part B we are asked to find out marginal probability mass functions of x and y. So we find that x square by 5 is marginal probability mass function of random variable x for non-zero values and 0 otherwise, and marginal probability mass function of random variable y is y by 6 for y equal to 1, 2, 3 and 0 otherwise. Now we see what is part C. In part C we are asked to check whether x and y are independent or not. So we have joint probability mass function as well as marginal probability mass functions. So here we can use that property, that we know that x and y are independent if joint probability mass function of x, y equal to product of marginal probability mass functions. We have discussed this in earlier lecture, that if this property is satisfied for all x and y, then these random variables x and y are independent. So here we have probability mass functions of x and y, so we can multiply them and we can check whether we obtain joint PMF or not. So if we multiply px and py, so for non-zero values px is x square by 5 and py is y by 6. So here I write x square by 5 times y by 6 and I obtain 1 by 30 times x square y. Now this is nothing but joint probability mass function, and this is for all x and y, because at non-zero values this is satisfied, px into py equal to pxy, and because for these values x equal to 1 2 and y equal to 1 2 3, we have this px into py equal to pxy. Now for values other than these values of x and y, these two are 0 and this is also 0. So this property is satisfied for all possible values of x and y. So since pxy equal to px into py, x and y are independent discrete random variables. So our question was whether x and y are independent or not. So answer is yes, x and y are independent because pxy equal to px into py. This is for y, this is for x. Now in part D we have to decide conditional probability mass functions p of y by x and p of x by y. So as we have discussed, if random variables x and y are independent, then we can write here x and y are independent, therefore conditional probability distribution p of y by x, y given x, must be equal to probability mass function of random variable y. And this is also correct because x and y are independent. This conditional probability mass function is nothing but probability mass function of random variable x. So this is another property of independent random variables. If we wish, we can check by the definition also. Suppose we want to check or verify this, we can go by definition. This is by definition p of xy divided by, because we have x in the denominator, here we write px. Now this pxy was 1 by 30 into x square y. And what is px? Px was x square by 5. So I write from here. So we can see x square will cancel out and here 5 will cancel out, and we have y by 6, and y by 6 is nothing but probability mass function of random variable y. So this is p of y. So this happens because x and y are independent random variables. So if we know that x and y are independent, we can directly write that this conditional probability mass function of y given x equal to probability mass function of y, and conditional probability mass function of x given y is equal to probability mass function of x. You don't have to show this also. You can directly write that these two, because x and y are independent random variables. Okay, so in this way we can do this type of problems related to all these definitions: joint probability mass function, marginal probability mass function, conditional probability mass functions, and independence of random variables. So you should remember all these definitions to do this type of problems. Okay, so this is all about this session. I hope you like it. Thank you very much.